Richmond Police Chief Gerald says that this started as an attempted traffic stop near North 20th Street and Fairmont Avenue around 5 o'clock or shortly after 5 o'clock this evening. Smith says that two officers noticed a car that, as he put it, was driving recklessly, running red lights and stop signs, but the car did not stop. He says this led to a short pursuit that ended about 3 blocks later in the Oliver Crossing apartment complex when that car crashed into a parked car. Now, Smith alleges the driver, who was the only person inside that car, got out holding a gun, moved in the direction of an officer, and pointed the gun at that officer. Smith says the officer feared for his life and fired his gun at the man, hitting him. When asked, Smith says he did not know if the driver ever fired his gun. Now, Smith didn't say how many times the man was shot, but adds he was taken to the hospital and is in has non-life-threatening injuries. He says they also recovered his firearm, and you should be seeing a picture of it on the screen. Now, Smith says there is body-worn camera video from the officer who fired their weapon and other officers on scene. And while admitting he didn't see the video himself, Smith says his staff had, and says that he was told that you can see the person pointing their gun at the officer in question.
We are determining how many shots were fired at this time. We have more than one shot that was fired. We have 3 casings that we have found on the scene. But as this investigation continues, part of the investigation will be to count the rounds of the officer on scene as well as any other officer on scene to determine exactly how many rounds were fired.
Now, talking with two women who said they were nearby when this happened, they said they heard between 3 and 4 shots. Now, at the time of the news conference, which was around 8 o'clock this evening, Smith said he didn't have an exact number of how many officers were on scene at the time this happened, that they all would have been at a police station being kept separate and being interviewed about this incident. He added that, again, at the time of the news conference, police had not charged the driver with anything or interviewed him, as he was still being treated at the hospital.